we're here talking about, like you said,
The
taking clients.
trials and tribulations of interior design.
It's always like, but you know what? It's you're gonna have problems no matter what business you're in.
Absolutely.
So you just have to decide what kind of problems do you want? How hard do you what kind of hard do you wanna deal
Yeah,
with, right?
exactly.
Just some
Okay.
days you're just like, "I just don't wanna deal with this hard today. Just not today."
Yeah.
But taking clients to showrooms, so tell us what happened?
So today I met with one of my clients that I'm consulting with. It's mostly on her renovation, but then we finish up a little early, so now we're going to start picking new furniture for her great room. So she's leaving to go out of town for like 5 months. So wanted to go look at some sofas and chairs and sit in them and, see what she likes. So we went to a few, and I only like to go to the trade showrooms, which is in the design district because I feel like that's better. But so I don't really love taking clients.
So you're not talking like West Elm or Crane Barrel or stuff like that. That's not where you're talking. You're taking
Well,
her.
today it was a retail showroom, so, like, our house and, like, a few like that, but
Oh,
normally, I would wanna take like, I prefer to
yeah,
just shop in the trade only, right? Because
yeah.
we're dealing with all the different brands, and everything's customized, and we pick what we want, and it's different. But based on, the specifications of what she's looking for and her price point, she wanted to go to the retail stores, so we did, like we went to 4 different ones today.
Wow.
And it's just exhausting, I mean, because
'Cause it's a candy shop, right?
yes, first of all, it's too many options, it's too much going on, and I feel like it's overwhelming, and, a lot of it I know is not going to work, so I'm, definitely always steering my clients in that direction of like, "Okay, no, we need to do this," but it was more for, like, seating purposes.
Herding cats.
Yeah, yeah, and I was just like, not really my favorite. I
Yeah,
just wanna pick everything out and not worry about all of these other
right,
issues that come along with dealing with retail stores.
right. I can tell you that I never go to retail stores. I never shop retail, and I never take my clients. If they're coming to do a seat test, that's different. It's because we're doing total custom at a fabrication facility,
Mhm.
but yeah, I never do retails like our house, West West Elm, Renovation Hardware or Restoration Hardware, I should say,
Yeah,
Crate and Barrel,
yeah.
because it's just not worth it. And
Yeah,
I feel yeah, go ahead.
no, also too, a lot of those retail showrooms, a lot of it is the trade brands that we know that then kinda white label and sell to the retail stores, so it's the same product, you know?
Right. But
It's
there's a lot less customizations in those shops, number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2, like, if I like going through my trade showroom because I have a dedicated sales rep that helps me make sure my order gets placed, make sure it's moving along, make sure that there's any crinkles or wrinkles along the way, takes care of me. There's a problem after, takes care of it. Like, I'm not saying West Elm and they wouldn't because, I suppose they would, but
Mhm.
I just like you start building relationships with different places, and there is
Ex
a reason why you're building it with them.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I like
Plus,
to use the same, definitely, like, I have my favorites of the vendors that I like, and so, when I have something in mind, I always, source through certain vendors,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and it's because, you know, I think and of course clients don't understand because they're not in it. But it's not simply, "Oh, I just happen to like this chair." It's because I know this chair is comfortable, it's worked, it meets the parameters that I need. Maybe it's modern, it's swivel, it's low, it's, bigger seat, whatever the parameters. And it also works in my budget. I know this. Plus, I know the vendor is going to have some fabrics that are going to work so I don't have to do COM. But should I have to do COM, I still have that opportunity. if the
Yeah.
budget allows. Or vice versa, I can start with the COM and know that, okay, if we need to cut back on some places in the budget, that's a possibility. Instead of doing this beautiful fabric on the chair itself, I'm going to use the fabric, beautiful fabric for a pillow, and then use one of the vendor fabrics, because I know they have a lot, as the chair, and then be able to manage that budget. And then after that, timeline, because there are some vendors that take 16 weeks, and I'm thinking, okay, there is no way. Other times it's okay, or 20 weeks. It's okay because I'm thinking, well, we don't start the construction to here, and then there's this time, and by the time we're done, all the pieces will be in. So waiting 20 weeks isn't such a big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't think clients understand that process. In fact, I know they don't. Yeah. And that, I mean, that's part of being an interior designer. It's not just, yeah, I can pick out pretty things.
Yeah.
I can make the aesthetic, but can I do all the other stuff that goes with it? Manage it, create the budget, pay attention to the budget. When was the last time you had a client that said, don't worry, spend whatever you want? You ever had
Those
a
are the
client like
best.
that?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Those are the best ones.
Those are the best ones, but they don't come around all the time. You're
Yeah.
like, I find for myself, I set a budget at the beginning so I know that we're aligned.
Yeah.
Because if the client is thinking, you know, oh, 1,000, and I'm thinking, this room is big and she wants built-ins, we're looking at 95. And
Yeah.
so
It's a
I
big
go
deal.
off, yeah, and I go off thinking 95 and she's got 45. We're never gonna, I'm never gonna be able to meet her expectations and she's gonna be totally unhappy with me. So
Yeah.
before I get started, it's what's the investment amount?
Right.
Let's agree on that. And, like, unfortunately, like this last dining room that I'm doing right now, I was off the mark because it's way more detailed than the cost was more than I expected.
Okay.
And then, some of the stuff was because she also picked the more expensive of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But, we're having conversations, we're going along. Look at, you picked this carpet. I realize that it's outside the budget. It's going to impact the budget, but it's so beautiful. It would work great in your space. It meets
Mhm.
all your parameters. This is, I want to show it to you,
Yeah.
but I realize that it's outside your budget. And sometimes clients will say, yay. And then other times they're like, no, I don't want to pay that much for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how you work, but you work
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then, like, I always, I get an idea from them of what their budget is, but then I'll always source, like how I would source for myself, like splurging on certain things,
Yeah.
saving in certain other areas, just to kind of like balance it all out. Cause it's nice to have a good mix,
It is good to have
you
a good
know.
mix.
That's why I also don't like to break down like, okay, well, this light is this amount and this is this amount, because then it's like, well, I don't want to spend that much for a light, but just look at the
Mm.
total. I like to just do a total room.
Budget.
Yes. Like line item everything and like, here's the total. Because then people get hung up on, well, that chandelier is so expensive, but we're saving in other areas. And at the end of the day, if the total number is good, let's just go with that.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's a good
I
way of
like that
doing it.
better, but
Yeah. I
sometimes you
mean,
can't do that. So
yeah, yeah, I mean, that's hard to do on certain projects. This
yeah.
project and the dining room project I'm doing, we are looking at vintage and pre-owned products
Yes.
because we're really doing like a Bridgerton feel for this space.
Hmm.
So, to get like that kind of detail on case goods and chairs and tables new, I mean, we'd have to times it by 4. So my idea was we will use pre-owned, not antique necessarily, but vintage,
Hmm.
and we'll be able to save because a lot of those pieces, there's a great selection of them, but they're not like heavily demanded. It's not like Restoration Hardware where everybody wants that farmhouse table, let's say, for example, right? People
Right.
aren't doing that Bridgerton look.
Mhm.
So I figured we could go that way. But what ended up happening was, um, it came in more piecemeal
Mm.
because we found some pieces, but then by the time I got to the pres and this is the hard part, the time I got to the presentation
Yeah.
and she said yes, that piece had gone. I'm like,
Mm.
"Oh." And you can't sort of, so we were sourcing a couple of weeks before
Yeah.
in the hopes that things wouldn't go. And but,
Okay.
the thing is that you can't really hold on to them because the fact is that she may not actually like them. It might be like 2 or
Right.
3 sideboards. And the one that, can't put hold on everything, and that's just not fair to the vendors either.
Yeah. Great.
So it became a little more piecemeal because she liked this, but then she didn't like that, but then this went off, like, "Oh, we
Yeah.
lost that. Now we need to get something else."
Now you gotta select again.
Yeah. But, we're gonna be totally happy with the end result.
Good.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be beautiful. But,
Exciting.
yeah.
So tell us
But,
about the
the
showroom.
taking clients to showrooms, good for you. You have way more guts than me. That's just
Sometimes
hair.
I don't mind it for certain things, but, like, I like it for more accessories and stuff,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah,
Like
that makes sense.
finishes, those are fun because you can just
Right.
pick up things right there and but, like, for seating and couches and chairs, like, more upholstery, I don't love it.
Yeah. Well, because it's not necessary, and people, clients can get caught up in, well, it's not the right color. Well, we know, or it's this manufacturer, but they don't have the actual chair, but the seat is going to sit the same because the inside depth and chair height is all the same, so you get a feel. Yeah, but I don't really like this, chair or sofa. Okay, we understand. So,
Yeah. It's
yeah,
definitely different kind of experience for sure.
yeah. Well, good for you. The thing is, we also want to make clients happy. So, how do you do that and balance, your time to make it most fruitful and valuable, right? You keep it, yeah. But I try to avoid those situations. And it says in my contract, in fact, I don't, you must have it in your contract. There are places they have to mark and say, okay, I know I will not be sitting on the furniture. I know I will not be testing anything.
Yeah, I definitely put that in there that most likely you will not be able to.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it happens, but 99% of the time, uh-uh.
Yeah.
Like even with the, pre-owned pieces, like how would I get them to go to the, no, no way.
No, like, well, especially with like case goods, I don't know about you, but I mean, I can order everything. I don't need to see it.
I
I
already seen enough stuff.
person. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, it's very, very easy to just, order all of that stuff. But sometimes the
Yeah.
clients want to see it. I'm like, well, there's no way for you to see.
Yeah. Well, 95% of the time, it's not even going to be in a showroom near you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the advantage of going to High Point is that, and that's what I found when I went to High Point for the furniture mart that introduced me to some brands, but I
Mhm.
got to see thousands of their pieces right there, and I got a really good idea of finishes and detail work and,
Quality.
how the furniture is constructed, and
Yeah.
that was so helpful for me, and then I saw furniture that I had seen on, lots of it I'd seen in catalogs or online, and then I saw it in the
Mhm.
showroom. I'm like, "Okay, I've seen it. I know what it looks like, or I know what to expect when it comes."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about the show house.
So I was selected, Walden Interiors was selected as the firm to design the dining room in the Valerie Fund, which is a not-for-profit organization that helps support children with cancer and blood disorders in New Jersey. So they've done a show home before a few years ago, and I didn't elect to do it. But this time I've really been wanting to do a show home.
Mhm.
So we are doing the dining room. So working on putting that together. And of course, we're here and then I'm over here. It's like candy. It's like,
Mm,
oh no, I get to do what I want. In this show home, there's always parameters with show homes. Like
mhm.
you can't touch the molding or you can't change the woodwork or, I don't know. It just depends on the room and the owners of the home, right? So in this one, they have a color palette, which is called the Manor House. It's Victorian. That's a historical home in South Plainfield called the Clark Rogers home. So we are designing that dining room with this very muted palette, but it's a Victorian. Now I'm trying to marry the Victorian history of the home with the modern functionality of today's family.
Okay.
So because we just use our homes differently and not that furniture is different too. We're way more into overstuffed, more comfortable pieces. The dining room, we don't have to worry about that so much, but um trying to marry that modern feel with the Victorian aesthetic
Nice.
somehow in there. Maximalist because I'm a maximalist.
Mhm.
What else? Colorful because I love color. And I've reached out to a few select trades and vendors to collaborate so that their product, I will be using their product in the home to highlight because I love their products and they are collaborating with me to bring it to life. So, and that's going to be in October. So we're in the midst of just trying to get everything, the final design vision done because obviously we have to order things and
Right.
get things going, which we may be a little behind, but we'll get it done.
And so do you pay for all of the furniture and everything that comes out of your costs?
Yeah. So you pay a fee to join in. And then when you are done and you've removed all your furniture, you get a little bit of that fee back, maybe half.
Okay.
And then if you sell any of the furnishings, et cetera, then you give a portion of the proceeds to Valerie Fund so that they can raise
Okay.
money for for their organization.
Nice.
Yeah. It's open like 4 weekends, I believe, in September through October. So, yeah, so it means being on site to make sure that people know about us and we can talk to people and show them what our vision is and why did we go the direction we did. Yeah, I'm excited. Excuse me.
So then for those 4 weekends that it's open, you can try to sell everything in that room to someone?
Yeah, everything for I mean, unless I don't want to sell it, like,
Right.
right, because um maybe I'll use something from my own house to decorate, like art or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm thinking a dining room, I want to have the table set and stuff like that. So is that, do I buy stuff to sell? Maybe not, but we'll see. And I want to marry the new and the old and like I've just got
Yeah.
some ideas, but it's also
And
harder when
it's
you bring it for yourself.
I was gonna say because you don't have to get approval for anything, you can do what you want.
For this, we don't have to do the approval for anything. We can't touch the trim work.
Right,
It's
but,
wood.
like, you can put whatever you want in there furniture-wise and all of that.
We can't add additional lighting, like hardwired lighting, is
Okay.
unfortunate. Mm, I think that if we wanted to add more trim on the walls, etc., we'd have to get approval for that.
So then you can't wallpaper.
I think we can wallpaper because
Oh,
the show home they were going to have a wallpaper partnership.
okay.
We definitely have the wallpaper. We
I
can't
was
have a
gonna
dining
say,
room
how are
without
you gonna do a
wallpaper.
room without wallpaper?
What? No, impossible. And this is a problem. Do you know how many beautiful wallpapers are, and how do you decide which of the 3 bazillion wallpapers are you going
My
to
god.
use? Like a dog and a
Yeah.
squirrel. Squirrel. Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's so many aesthetics that I do like. And I also have visited many show homes, and I think this is an opportunity to show the layering that can happen in interior design. I'm not looking to do a minimal room.
Yeah.
I really want it to be okay. It may not appeal to everyone, which is impossible to appeal to everyone,
Right.
but you can see the level of detail, you can see the level of
Mhm.
finish for the space itself. So that is the combination of colors and the materials, the texture, the dimension that's being employed in this room.
Mhm.
You may not like the colors, you may not like the actual design, but I've gone into plenty of spaces where it's not my style, but it's well done in that
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, beautiful.
Well, that's
So that's
exciting.
yeah, that's what we got. And then next week we're actually going to scope out another show home. So what have you heard about show homes? Have you ever done a show home? I mean, you know about Cafe because you were living in New
Yeah,
York for
I've
a while.
gone to the one in the Hamptons, the
Okay, yeah, Hampton.
show house in the Hamptons. I have not ever done one myself. I never really inquired. I wasn't sure really how involved it is, but
Well,
definitely
it's involved.
interested. Yeah, because I
You
know
have to spend money.
the one in the Hamptons, like, they even did, like, bathrooms, like,
Oh yeah,
everything.
absolutely.
Oh my god! Because obviously the costs just to do that alone, like, the design firm is paying for that,
Right. So
right?
I just got just before I came on to the live stream
Mhm.
all the parameters for the other show home, which is for next year. They're doing a preview right
Okay.
now, so you can go in the house, look at it, and they're telling you things like, okay, their carpet's being ripped out and the owner is putting in wood flooring, or there's things like in this room and or in the foyer, the owner is installing black and white checker marble in the foyer. So you have to work with that. Are you willing to do that? Then you have to put in your proposal for the space. But it
So
depends on
you
the
have to
room, and
show them the design and they have to approve it?
you have to show that you have to have some kind of proposal for them. Yeah, you have to have some kind of proposal, whatever it means that's going to get you the space that you want, because
So
there are
you
certain
you
spaces.
propose for a specific space, like, "I wanna design this space," and that's what you send to them, or do they
Yeah,
tell you?
or you can put your top 3, and then you have a feel for it. It just depends on the showroom. This one, we just went for the dining room, so we made a little material palette board
Okay.
and a mood board with furniture selections and stuff like that. That's what we submitted, but you can get much more detailed. The
Mm,
nice thing about having some time, I don't know when the submissions are, but I know next week is the walkthrough for this
okay.
other show home. We didn't have much time because we were late on the submission for the Valerie Fund showroom,
Okay.
but you can get very involved where you can do renderings and stuff, which is
Oh,
nice to use later on as you're showing. So I'm
yeah.
actually doing another show home too. Now this one is very interesting because this one's virtual only and it's with the International Vegan Interior Design Association. So we have identified a home that is being built by a builder in Michigan in the Ozarks. It's a like 8,000 square foot home,
Okay.
and there are about a dozen of we have like about, I don't know, 20 or 25 members of the International Vegan Interior Design Association. So there are about 12 of us who wanted to do a room. So we pulled the rooms out of a hat and everybody got like we divvied up, everybody got a space. And so with this one, it's really creating it's a little less expensive because we're not having to buy any product. So it's creating everything as we see it and then doing virtual materials like material boards, rendering, whatever we want to create this. And what our goal with this is to bring awareness and education to vegan interiors because, I'm a vegan interior designer. I don't use animal products. So
Mhm.
it's showing how interior design can be beautiful, can still function, but we don't have to use animal products to do that. So working on that. So it's a little project.
So you
And
got a couple
again, it's like,
design show have just
what's that?
so you got a couple design show houses going on.
Yeah, yeah. But it's a really good way there is a cost to it and time,
Yeah.
but it is a good way to get your name out you know,
Yeah. It's
in
like
the
having
area.
your own little, like, pop-up shop, you know? That's great. I think it's a great idea.
That's the plan. So we'll see. We'll see for the one next week what the submission time is, and we have to put together something. So, Elizabeth and I met at Grant Cardone event, and he helps small business owners build their business, etc. And he has lots of different programs and stuff to help build your business, to protect your wealth, build your wealth, create a legacy.
Mhm.
So many great ways of change your mindset. Oh my God, my mindset's there. So Elizabeth and I are actually going to be seeing each other this weekend
Yeah.
for Grant Cardone's conference
Yeah.
down in
Wealth conference
Aventura. Yeah,
in
Wealth Conference.
Miami.
How to go, it's all really about how to create that abundance in your life with your business, with your proceeds from your business, from it's, all small business owners. Most people
Yeah.
aren't coming there, I don't think, that are W-2s
Mhm.
for the most part.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Elizabeth. We haven't seen each other for a while,
I know.
maybe 2 years now.
Yeah,
Not last year.
no,
Only last year.
it was, definitely a grand event, but yeah, it was maybe 2
Yeah,
years, like summers ago.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'm
Of course,
excited.
yeah. So she and I've been talking every week, more or less, unless she goes on vacation or I go on vacation. We talk every week, and we're here talking about the design tea. What are
Yeah.
we doing? How do we do it? What do we think about it? Help us, help me,
What's
that kind of stuff.
happening?
Yeah,
Pivoting,
what's happening?
like, we're getting frustrated. What do we do? So, all the normal things that happen in every business.
Exactly. So getting through the hard times with a little bit of help, and I'm sure if any designers or any business owners that are watching this have felt that periods of time in their business, like, okay, where do I get some support and stuff? And so it turned out really great with meeting Elizabeth, and we talk about design stuff and really have helped each other. So I hope that anybody listening feels supported, feels heard, gets some value from our weekly podcast when we're here. Yeah.
Exactly. So, we will be back next Tuesday and then we'll share some of our takeaways from our weekend with Grant Cardone at the Wealth
Oh,
Conference.
yeah,
That'll be
that's
good.
right. I'll be back on Tuesday.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, and we will see you
And
next Tuesday on Design.